Andy struggles to adjust to life after losing her immortality. She and her team, Niall, Joe, Nikki, and Copley, are forced out of hiding when two powerful enemies threaten the world. Gwyn, once Andy's close friend, was captured 500 years ago, sealed in an Iron Maiden, and left underwater to drown and revive endlessly. She is eventually rescued by Discord, the first Immortal, who fuels Gwyn's hatred toward Andy for abandoning her. Together, they seek revenge on both Andy and humanity. The movie opens in Croatia, where Andy and her team ambush an illegal weapons deal involving a mysterious buyer named Conrad. Joe and Nikki create a diversion by leading the guards away in a car. During the chase, they fight off the guards, but Nikki's leg is crushed while trying to jump from one car to another. However, because of his immortality, Nikki's leg heals and he and Joe manage to stop the remaining guards. As they drive back to the mansion, their car crashes and falls off a cliff, but they survive due to their immortality. Meanwhile, Andy, Niall, and Copley infiltrate the mansion. Using their combat skills, they take out the remaining guards and head upstairs to confront Conrad. In the gunfight, they shoot Conrad, and he falls to his death. Niall finds a spear inside the mansion and decides to keep it, and as they leave, Copley contacts the CIA to collect the weapons. Back at their hideout, the team celebrates, and Copley steps away to take a call from a CIA agent. After the call, he tells the group that Conrad wasn't the real buyer and shows them CCTV footage of the actual buyer, Discord. Niall recognizes the woman and tells Andy she's seen her in a dream. In the dream, Discord is in a library with a man, whom she suddenly attacks before leaving with some books. Niall asks what her dream means, and seeing the concern on her face, Andy reassures her that they'll figure it out together. Meanwhile, in Paris, Booker, an ex-member of Andy's old team who betrayed them, returns to his apartment and finds Gwyn waiting. She demands to know where Andy is, and just then, one of her henchmen sneaks up and kidnaps Booker. In an old house, Booker is tied up as Gwyn continues questioning him. But Booker, now living in exile, says he doesn't know where Andy is, and he tells her that capturing him won't help her find Andy. At the same time, Andy and her team arrive in Paris for a vacation and decide to split up. Andy takes Copley with her for a personal errand, and Joe tells Nikki he wants some time alone and leaves. Sensing something is off, Nikki and Niall secretly follow him and confront him at Booker's apartment. There, it's revealed that Joe has secretly been in contact with Booker since his exile, which upsets Nikki. After finding blood in the apartment and realizing Booker is missing, they rush off to inform Andy. Meanwhile, Andy and Copley travel to Seoul to meet Tua, a wise immortal with deep knowledge of their origins. Andy tells him about Niall's dreams involving Discord, who was in the area years ago, and asks what they might mean. Tua says he might have an idea, and takes them to an underground library filled with books on the history of immortals. They notice a volume missing, the same books Discord stole. Tua reveals a shocking truth: Andy is not the first immortal, Discord is, and he also admits he once worked with her. Tua explains that on the day Gwyn was sealed in the Iron Maiden, both he and Discord were present, and it was also the day he helped Andy escape captivity. Now that Discord knows about Andy and her team, Tua warns they're all in serious danger. He's stunned to learn Andy has lost her immortality and decides to join the group to help stop what's coming. The team reunites in Italy, where Niall informs Andy about Booker's disappearance, and they suspect Discord is behind it. As the team discusses their next move, Joe receives a call from Booker. He and Nikki drive to a remote location to meet him. Booker says he wants to speak with Andy, so they bring him to her. There, Booker reveals that Gwyn is out, and unable to find Andy directly, she kidnapped Booker to lure her in. He hands Andy a message from Gwyn, and in the message, Gwyn expresses her deep disappointment in Andy for never searching for her after she escaped. Now that she's free, she demands Andy come meet her. Andy prepares to go alone, but Niall insists on coming to watch her back, knowing Andy is no longer immortal. Meanwhile, Nikki still struggles to trust Booker after his past betrayal and is reluctant to welcome him back to the team. On the way, Andy has a flashback of a moment when she almost killed a man, until Gwyn stopped her. The next day, Andy and Niall arrive in Rome, with Niall following close behind to protect her. Andy finally finds Gwyn and expresses her sadness and guilt for not keeping their promise. Gwyn vents her anger, accusing Andy of moving on without her, but Andy explains that she searched the ocean for her but couldn't find her. Meanwhile, Niall watches from a distance, and when Andy asks Gwyn to rejoin her and help humanity, Gwyn refuses. She blames mortals for what they did to her 500 years ago and now wants only revenge. When Andy tries to reason with her, Gwyn attacks, and Andy is forced to defend herself. As they fight, Niall steps in to stop them, and then Discord appears. Niall goes after her, and Andy realizes Discord was the one who rescued Gwyn and that they are now working together. During the fight, Gwyn retrieves the necklace she once gave Andy during their captivity before running off. Andy chases her but loses sight of her. Meanwhile, Niall follows Discord and confronts her inside a church, where Discord tries to manipulate Niall, claiming Andy is just using her. However, Niall stands her ground, saying it was her own choice to follow Andy. Discord then makes a shocking revelation: while she is the first immortal, Niall will be the last. She points out that they both share an identical and mysterious birthmark, and before leaving, Discord tells Niall they will meet again. When the group reunites, Niall shares what Discord told her, and Tua believes Discord knows something about Niall that no one else does. Later that night, Booker visits Tua, who is researching legends. Tua reveals one legend claiming Niall is a destroyer. If she injures another immortal, that immortal's wound won't heal, causing them to lose their immortality. When Tua asks if Niall ever injured Andy, Booker confirms that during their first fight, Niall wounded Andy, right before Andy lost her immortality. He also mentions another legend: someone who has lost their immortality can regain it, if another immortal willingly transfers theirs. This means Andy could become immortal again, and Tua believes Discord plans to use Niall to eliminate all immortals. Later, Booker meets with Andy, and they share a heartfelt conversation, and he encourages her not to give up on Gwyn. Meanwhile, at a nuclear facility in Jakarta, Gwyn and her henchmen launch an attack, kill the guards, and take control of the site. The next day, while Niall is training, Booker challenges her to a sparring match. During the match, Tua joins in, and Booker allows Niall to injure him, and as a result, he loses his immortality. He hides this from the group and makes Tua promise not to tell Andy. After hearing about the attack on the nuclear facility, Copley gathers the team in the library to plan. CCTV footage reveals that Gwyn has taken over the facility and planted bombs that could kill millions, including immortals. Though they know it's part of Discord's plan to lure them in, Andy and her team decide to go stop the threat. They arrive at the facility, fully armed. Andy and the team head inside, while Copley stays in a remote location to guide them through the facility. Niall manages to find and disarm one of the bombs, but soon after, she and the team are surrounded by Discord's henchmen. Instead of using guns, the henchmen engage in hand-to-hand combat with the old guard. A tense fight breaks out, but the old guard quickly overpowers them. Suddenly, a small bomb hidden nearby explodes in front of Niall, causing her to fall as debris crashes down on her. Meanwhile, Copley guides Nikki, Joe, and Tua to the control room, where they face another group of henchmen. They fight and defeat them, then begin searching for the location of the remaining bombs. Just then, the control room door locks, trapping them inside, and they realize this was part of Discord's plan all along. Back in his remote station, Copley notices strange movement around him, and he is ambushed by more henchmen. Inside the locked control room, Nikki, Joe, and Tua look for a way out, but then, they're frozen and captured by Discord's forces. Meanwhile, Andy is overwhelmed while fighting the henchmen, until Booker arrives and helps her. As more enemies close in, Booker sacrifices himself by transferring his immortality to Andy. She regains her ability to heal and fight back, defeating the henchmen, while Booker becomes fully mortal. Booker tells Andy she has a purpose, and he locks her in a room to prevent her from helping him, and goes to face more henchmen. Though he sustains serious injuries, he manages to defeat them all before finally succumbing to his wounds, and Andy is left in tears. Elsewhere, Niall survives the explosion and confronts Gwyn in the coolant room, trying to reason with her about Andy and their past. However, Gwyn attacks, and during the fight, Niall wounds her, and Gwyn loses her immortality. Suddenly, Discord sneaks up behind Niall, stabs her in the chest, and has her restrained and taken away. Meanwhile, Andy discovers that Discord has captured her team, and while searching the facility, she finds Gwyn holding the bomb trigger. Andy manages to talk her down, convincing her not to detonate it, and Gwyn drops the trigger, before Andy leaves to confront Discord. Discord attempts to escape with Andy's team in a helicopter, and Andy climbs aboard but is pushed off. Refusing to give up, she manages to pull Discord out of the helicopter, and in their final showdown, the now immortal Andy battles Discord. During the fight, it's revealed that Discord has lost her immortality and is desperate to get it back. She plans to use Niall to strip the old guard of their immortality and regain her own. Discord temporarily disables Andy and escapes with the captured team, and Andy vows to rescue them. She returns to the library and helps Gwyn recover from her injuries, and the two reconcile. As Andy studies the ancient books, she finds a sketch of her team, hinting at their greater purpose. Determined to stop Discord, Andy and Gwyn set out together, ready to face whatever comes next, and the movie ends with them charging ahead to save the Old Guard. Okay guys, that's all the recap about the Old Guard 2 from 2025. Thanks for watching, see you again in the next video.